The records returned represent each individual shipment that matches our search criteria, meaning there are 13,000 U.S. imports of Nike footwear products for the past year. As you can see, the consignee and shipper fields appear blank because Nike opts out. Even though I can't see who they're working with, I can still gather really important information from my shipment report, like what goods they're importing, which regions they're doing business in, and how much and how often they import. Remembering back to the company profile, the easiest way to get a quick understanding of shipment activity is by utilizing summary reports. I can select the Shipment Origin report if I want to identify where Nike shipments are coming from. Again, if I'm updating my sourcing strategy or reaffirming the strategy I have in place, these markets will give me a good idea as to where one of the top U.S. companies is doing business. Another report of interest might be shipper. Now, I know it's going to be difficult for me to gain visibility into Nike's trading partners because of opt-out. However, in instances where they have opted out improperly, I might be able to capture a few of their trading partner relationships. To build my list of their suppliers, I'll use the Shipper tab. This tab is going to organize your list by the company name that appears in the shipper field, and will default by the number of shipments. However, you can change how it is sorted to matching weight as well. Now, I see a lot of logistics companies on this list, which isn't very helpful for me if my goal is to uncover who produces their footwear products. I'll use the Shipper Trade Roles filter on the left-hand side of my screen to isolate for companies who are true manufacturers instead. Now, as you can see, we have a much more manageable list we can work with. 8 suppliers of footwear products to Nike in the past year. Let's visualize these relationships to see what part of the year Nike imports from each vendor most often. A great tool to keep in mind as you're going about building these reports is that you have the ability to save this list for future reference, or you can export these results to Excel. To save this report for the future, click Save Search at the top of your screen and name it something that will be easy for you to remember. I'm going to name this Nike Footwear Suppliers. To work with this information offline, or to share it with a colleague, I'll select Export Results. I can also create an auto dashboard of some of our most popular shipment analytics panels for competitive insight into Nike's footwear market. Let's go ahead and create our dashboard now. Before we take a look at our dashboard, remember that I had a third goal of discovering the less well-known competitors in my market who import similar products as me. First, I'm going to remove Nike from my search, as I want to focus on all footwear importers. Next, I'll select the Consignee tab to summarize the data by U.S. importer. Already, I'm seeing companies I recognize, like Adidas. To narrow this list by companies who are similar in size to my company, I'll use the range filters. Typically, my company imports between 100 and 200 shipments per year, so I'm going to input that information into the shipment column. These 24 importers represent the companies who most closely resemble my shipment activity. It'll be interesting to track them over time to see if they begin importing new products, or if they source from any emerging markets, or if their activity significantly increases or decreases. Let's go back to our homepage and take a look at our dashboard.